This is Emory Hunt on the Browns' late round picks. This is from the Ross Tucker College Draft Podcast.
I'm looking at Cam Mitchell. In my notes I have he plays a lot bigger than his listed size. I love the mentality he has out there. Northwestern secondary has been really good, and we saw Cleveland already go that route a year ago with his teammate. So they already have some, familiarity with Northwestern and how they coach their defensive backs, and they clearly have a type, and Northwestern is able to tap into that for them. Wypler is a guy a lot of people thought probably was going to go on early day two. So where they got him, I feel like is great value. Good depth backing up Ethan Posich. So that's a really good pick for them. And also you feel like when you think about Dorian Thompson-Robinson and you look at that depth chart of Cleveland, clearly they have a type there as well. They love the athletic limber guy, Deshaun Watson, Josh Dobbs, Kellen Mond. They love guys that can get out on the move. They're wiry guys, so they love the fact that they have that bendability, athleticism, I like to call it.
And Tyler, you know what? That's a really good point about Cam Mitchell, because they know how Northwestern cornerbacks translate into their system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Cam Mitchell pick surprised me because I'll admit I did not do a ton of research on Cam Mitchell. But when you look at what he did at Northwestern, very similar type of player to Greg Newsome. And it goes to show Northwestern is really good at developing NFL talent. What's funny about Northwestern, and it kind of doesn't make any sense, they're really good at developing NFL talent. They're obviously not good at having high levels of it every single year to compete, obviously, with Ohio State, Michigan, the rest of the Big Ten elite teams. But they do produce a lot of really good talented players. Cam Mitchell, I think, is going to be the next one. And I think bringing in Cam Mitchell, he's not going to probably get a ton of reps this year as a rookie, but he's going to have time to slowly come in, progress, and probably eventually after this year could end up taking A.J. Green's spot on the depth chart. And then, again, you could draft someone to eventually take the next step for the next cornerback that you have on the roster that ends up leaving at some point. So Andrew Berry loves drafting corners. He's also really good at finding talent at corner. And I'm glad they brought up Luke Wypler, because I firmly believe when you can get a talent like that in the 6th round now, of course, he's not the most athletic guy. That kind of is the biggest knock on him. He's not the best athlete at the center position, but he's just a solid all-around football player. And being a starter at Ohio State for as long as he is, that's not very common at that level. And so Luke Wypler, being able to get him in the 6th round, he's going to have competition with Nick Harris. I think Nick Harris is firmly on the roster bubble right now to see who's going to be the future at center. But I think the Browns and Luke Wypler got their future starter at the center position. He is a steal to me, and a great job by Andrew Berry taking the best available talent.
Yeah, if the biggest knock you can have on a guy taken in the 6th round is he doesn't have a lot of upside, okay, we don't really expect that from a 6th round pick. If a 6th round pick becomes a starter, it's a great pick.
Exactly the point. And that's funny that you mentioned that, because we were just talking about that with Donovan Peoples-Jones. The fact Donovan Peoples-Jones is in year 4 with the Browns, has been a starter for the Browns, has produced, and we're talking about him potentially getting a contract extension with the Browns or receiving double-digit millions on the free agent market. If you're a 6th round pick and that can happen for you in your NFL career, that's a phenomenal career right now, because normally you're not expecting that. So, yeah, getting Luke Wypler in the 6th round, complete steal, and you don't need him to be an elite talent. You just need him to be a solid NFL football player, which is what you're looking for if you can find those diamonds in the rough that late in the draft.